time is 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. also. But then more importantly than that is the time that you're also committing to learn yourself during the week. During the week, you need at least another 8 hours, which you can split into at least 2 hours per day. Okay, learn if you are making available 2 or 3 hours per day to go over what you have been taught, to also practice on questions. This is very important to developing this skill. What is most important, and one of the most unfortunate things that people are getting wrong, especially in this part of the world, is that many times people feel that it is acquisition of certificate. Many people have certificate for data science, they have certificate for web development, they have a certificate for AI, they can't do any shit. Bring them on the table to come and solve a problem in a company, they can't do it. All right, so, and then you wonder what is the essence of all the certificate that they have acquired. All right, so the certificate becomes invaluable if you cannot really solve the problem with it. So at the end of the day, what is most crucial here is, are you having the time to commit? Are you willing to commit that time to learn? All right, are you having that time to learn? Are you able to commit 4 hours on Sundays? Are you able to commit 4 hours on Saturdays? Are you willing to at least commit an extra 8 hours during the week, even if not up to 8 hours, even if it is 4 hours? Are you able to commit that time to learning aggressively? And that helps you to even come to class with questions, to ask the instructor questions, to take the class forward as against taking the class back. If that is able to, if that happens in the space of 12 weeks, you will have spent 18 hours learning period per week. Multiply it over a period of 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, I tell you, you don't need anybody to tell you that you're already a data scientist because you'll be able to do this stuff. All right. The current cohorts are already in their 10th week, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And it's a lot they have done it. But then, are you ready? Anybody? I'm asking, are you ready? Are you ready for this? If you are ready, can you just say yes in the chat? I just want to know. I want to be sure that we are here together and we're ready. No, don't use if everybody is saying yes, it will be crowded. I want to see the chat. Are you ready for this? It's going to be a very serious 12 weeks time. It's a challenge. It is not just a place to come and just take lesson notes and then at the end of the day you can't do anything. Yeah, thank you. I can see everybody was saying yes. Excited to see that. Yeah, I'm excited to see that we are ready. You're ready to commit time. You're saying yes. You're ready to commit time. You're ready to commit 16 hours per week. 16 hours per week, 12 weeks back to back. What happens is after that period of time, the game will change for you. I'm 100% sure of that. If you are able to commit that time, you are sufficient to get anything done. And I usually tell people, certificate should not be your focus. If certificate is your focus, you're mistaken from day one. Nobody's looking for a certificate again today now. We have plenty of certificates all over the place. But then bring them to the table to solve problems, they can't do it. I've been involved in interviews. I bring people, we want to hire people for companies that are even outside the country. All right. I've been engaged in such engagement. People reach out to me, partners outside the country. We need developers from you. Can you get us? Bring people on the table. We have over 900 applications. Begin to engage people. You discover that barely can you get 0.5% of that large population who can. But people have certificates from University of Michigan. There are some of these training people take online, and then they have certification from some of those top universities. Some even from some large coding firms. But unfortunately, they can't do it. So here, the focus is project-based. From day one, you start learning the core of the skill, and then you're able to do it. I hope that by now, everybody already have the, what's it called? You already have the curriculum, and then the curriculum helps you to be able to see what is going to be covered in the course. The first part is going to be, you need to understand Python programming correctly before you now advance forward. I don't want to do the job of the instructor today, so let me just hand over at this point. So at this point, I want to welcome our instructor who's going to be taking the course, and I'm excited that he's also here with us this morning to take us through this masterclass, and so also to answer our questions if we still have some other things that are bothering us that I've not covered. Welcome, Yang. How are you doing this morning? This afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Abayode. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be here. I feel honored to be here, and nice to meet you guys again. I'm Ian Kongete, but I'm largely known as Atta. I did most of the people that are around me of recent. I'm an engineer and I do data science in my engineering work. So I'm glad for this opportunity to be able to also share with everybody the experiences or what it feels, it will be. And I think I'm actually happy that I got some questions which apparently have been asked by you guys from probably the last meeting we had. So without much wasting of time, I don't know. I feel like I should just go through the questions. Yeah, should that be the first part? Okay. So then when I finish, if there's any extra question, I think I'm on the clock. I think I have like 15 minutes on this. Yeah. So I'll just make it quick. So question one is somebody asked, I would like to achieve a ground knowledge in data science. Okay. I like to think that that's why we are here in the first place for this course. It's going to take you, and you should note that this course actually takes you through programmatic data science. And what I mean by that is that we are not going to be taking you through, say, we're going to be teaching you third-party software like Excel and Power BI or Tableau and stuff like that. No, it's going to take you through Python as a programming language. I heard somebody said they had been doing MATLAB. That's interesting. So that means that when you start doing Python, it's going to be rather simple for you, and that's a good thing. Because Python and MATLAB are rather similar. It's just that MATLAB is targeted. It's targeted and not open source, so it has the places where it shines, and also it's not free. So this course is going to take you through this. So for the person who asked this question, yeah, I mean, go through this course and then you get the background that you require for data science, most definitely. I mean, then the rest depends on you, uh, how much extra work you put into it. Because I want to believe that everything entails personal work. Okay. Personal work is very important. This era we are in, or in it's not even in Nigeria thing. So I think in this era we are in, your personal input actually is what determines what you can offer. And what you can offer is what determines how much somebody will pay you for your job. Or whether you even the one paying people, because you have so much knowledge that you can manage multiple jobs and then you don't have to code. Funny enough, I think I've not coming to think of it. I can't remember the last time I actually wrote. Okay, I think I've been doing analysis of recent because I'm actually a web developer. Also, I'm a web developer, but I still collect jobs. So it's not that I don't still collect. I still collect jobs. But these days I collect jobs, but I just oversee. I'm more of like I don't call myself a project manager, but yeah, but I mostly just have guys who work together, and I just give it to them, and all they come to do is ask questions when they have problems. So I tell them what to do, and then they do it. So basically, it's just personal work basically, personal work, and go through the course. Okay. I see somebody saying a 11-year-old supposed to be here. Yes, and I believe that there's no better time. I mean, okay, well, I think I started coding rather early too. Uh, Maybe nothing so crazy, but I wish I actually had access to what you have access to right now. And if you take it very seriously, I have once thought, okay, it wasn't 11. I think it was like 15. He was just finishing second. He was in like SS3 or SS2. And as at that point, he was writing his own programming language. Now the dude is already working. He's about 18 or 17, or he's about 16 or 17 now. And he's working and he's earning good money. He's just living his life normally. Yeah, so I don't think it's too early to. My cousins have started writing code already. My little cousins. One of them is 5, and that would shock you. And they started writing Python and Scratch already. you probably should be the luckiest person in the world, and yes, you should continue and hold on to it. This is the best time. Okay, there's no better time to start. The earlier, the better. Yeah, you would enjoy it. From here, you might actually decide later. That's for you. That maybe you want to go into graphics later. Maybe you want to pick up C. Maybe you want to pick up C++. Maybe you want to start developing games. Something that you really enjoy. There's like the possibilities are endless, but like Python is the best way to start. Like there is no better way to start. If you go on Google and search best programming language for a beginner or for children, Python is what will come up. It will give you a very good start to building cool stuff, automating things before you now start going deeper into doing more interesting stuff that please you. Okay, well done. Somebody asked basic understanding of the concepts of data science, its applications, and introduction to one of the two of data analysis. Okay, so I think I'll do like a very simple process with pandas. I'll just do like a small analysis with pandas so that you can see. Okay, so data science is basically, I think most of the questions are quite similar. Basic, up to. So once I answer this one now, I'll take it I've answered most of it now. Like comprehensive knowledge, basics of data science with Python. I think with this one answer, most of those should be answered already. So data science is not, data science is basically running through data. Like, so data engineering. So data science is not exactly data engineering. Data science is not machine learning. Data science is not statistics. Data science is not data collection. Okay, like data science is a combination of all these tools together. Like data science is your ability to appreciate data in itself, because data is, we live in a world where, I mean, data has always been generated, but now we live in a world where we actually have the ability to process and store. Okay, and then there is different paradigms to it. Okay, there is storage, there is processing, there is prediction, there is exploration, there is analysis, there's statistics, there's like a whole lot of it. Now, the combination of all of these things together is what data science actually is. So if you are doing AI, you can say that you are delving into the world of data science. If you are dealing with big data, but it's not just one of them, there's like a combination of tools that come together to make the whole data science activity or process, okay, as one. So the data science basically is is basically an ability to play with data, like just playing with data. So if you actually go out to look for certifications, because I know somebody asked about certifications, and there's many of them. I don't know if there's any in Nigeria, except let's say you do a master's or BSc, but most of them are in the Americas, mostly in the Americas. So you have Google's data analyst, Google's data analyst certification, Google's data engineering certification. I think Microsoft also has Azure Cloud, Azure analyst, Azure architect. There's a couple of them. If you just go online, you see them. And they range between $200 down to about $1,000 or so, depending on which one you want to go for. And some of them last forever, which I think is the best way. I feel like some people just want to collect money, while some of them last for just 2 to 3 years. Google's certification is lifetime. If you have it, you have it, and that's the end. Like, but it's left to you to now improve, because every day Google is actually improving one thing or the other. Yeah, so that's so there's quite a couple. There's IBM. So you have stuff from Google. Google's one is called Google Cloud Platform. That's the base for it. You have Microsoft. Microsoft's one is Microsoft Azure. Okay, so the same thing. You have analyst, architect, engineer. Then you have what's this guy's called? You have IBM. Same thing. IBM Cloud AI Watson. You have AWS, which is by Amazon Web Services. The same thing. They are basically is big data analyst, engineer, and AI, and then architect. Those are the four status you can actually acquire for data science. So you would see that as much as you say, okay, data science, you won't, it's hard. So except if you say you're going to do a master's, would you see somebody that will tell you that, okay, you're coming for a data science certification? Because data science is not just data science. Like you could be doing any of the things to data science. Okay, so you could be a machine learning engineer, you could be this, you could be that. Okay, so anyone you pick, as we go through the course, you can decide what you want to become or what you want to specialize in. Like for me right now, I do exploratory data analysis and a little bit of prediction. Okay, exploratory data analysis and a little bit of prediction. So I do a little bit with web services because I have to display my data to my clients. And yeah, so depend on the clients too. Some clients don't want that. Some people just want Excel output. Depend on who you're working at. I realize that most of the time, if you are doing analysis for accounting firms, they just want Excel spreadsheets. They don't need any too much stuff. But if you are doing stuff for people who are engineers, like say you are doing something for an energy firm, say you are doing something for Eco Electric, or you are doing something for any of the discos, any of these energy firms, basically, they will most likely want something that is going to be web-based. Okay, so you do your analysis, and then it could be, if it's good for you, you find somebody, you find a company who actually has, what's it called? You find a company who has a good IT base already. So all you're just going to do is create programs that plug into their existing services. Okay, if not, then you might have to go and learn some web services. A web service is something different entirely. Okay, so but it's a good to have. I have it, and I always employ everybody, whoever goes through or says he wants to do data science, so that I mean the name of this thing that my boss here gave it is be in demand. So you are supposed to attempt as much as possible to be in demand. And to be in demand, you need to have like the skills that are actually relevant in the moment. It's not so basic. I like to say basic, but I know that that's actually not basic because every day you wake up, something new comes up. So you need to stay in the move, like you need to stay in the game and don't go obsolete. Like learn new stuff. Always find yourself doing something new. Sorry, I've digressed. Okay, somebody saying no on how to handle big data. How to handle big data to be able to perform data analysis, thorough understanding of data science career. I would love to gain knowledge about tech, skill, knowledge, and experience. I want to get a ground. I want to get a ground in data science, gain first knowledge and clear insights, expand my knowledge in data science, create data science for real world problems. Okay, somebody wants to say something. Hi, Cynthia. Okay, I'll just continue. Okay, and the basic prerequisites of being a data scientist. Okay, so I think this too now, to have understanding of data collection, analysis, and interpretation, how to apply data science in media, medic, oil and gas industry, and then understand prerequisites of a data analyst, data scientist. I think I'll just take these three. So have an understanding of data collection, analysis, and interpretation. Okay, so I think this, I don't know how best to describe this except for when we're in class, but look, when you go through the whole process, data actually reveals itself to you. Okay, you just need to understand what things mean. And I think like the basic prerequisites, as somebody has asked here, okay, everything begins to emanate from something called was it? The measures, I'm sure we've heard of this before. The measures of central tendency. I'm sure most of us in this place have heard of it. It's basically, all this grammar is basically your mean, median, mode. Those are the prerequisites, and they are the laws that guide central tendency. And what does central tendency tell you about? Okay, central tendency basically guides you through understanding what your data is doing. Okay, you might see a data set. Okay, you might see a data set, and then you see you have a population. You want to know what it's all about. Your mean tells you, it gives you a general overview. Okay, if you enter into this place, on the average, this is what you find. Your mode tells you that, okay, if I arrange this top to bottom, and I begin to look at it, this is what is mostly occurring. And while our median tells us that if I arrange this in an ordered format, this would be what is in the center. Now, different data have different have a different centroid. Okay, I don't think I'm supposed to like go into all of this plenty, but basically, when you look at your data, automatically it will tell you what is happening. Maybe I should just share my screen and show you some basic examples, because when you begin to look at data, it begins to show itself to you. So I'll just show a couple of like clusters. Okay, clusters. I hope everybody can see my screen. So images. Okay, so for example, okay, let me open this. And then where is this? Okay. So looking at this data now, this is an example of data that is clustered. Okay. Now this data has 3 centroids. This basically tells you that you have 3 kind of things happening in this data. Now, for you to get to this point where you have this data looking like this, there's really no special thing you would have done. You just collected a data set and you just say, okay, plus this data set. And then you look at it like this. You're like, look at this. You have 3 points on your data. Now, these 3 points automatically just tell you that, man, there are 3 things happening here. I have this set of guys here. I have this set of guys here. I have this set of guys here. Now, automatically, you can decide what you want to do. Maybe you want to do a prediction. Maybe you want to go into a deeper dive. And let's say this is a customer base, or this is a customer behavioral plot. And then you're like, looks like this kind of customers seem to come and then they pay plenty money, but they don't spend so much time. Or these guys come and do this and they don't do this. So how do we target adverts? So what kind of adverts should we send to people in cluster A? Or what kind of adverts should we send to people in cluster B? So that we can bring them to this particular position. You get, because like when you plot your graph, every point in your graph or every point in your data set actually means something. Okay. And now it is left to you. Now it is left to you as a data scientist to actually now find out, okay, what is going on here, or what can we do here? And this will help. This now helps people in the other departments make decisions. So if you are in the medical center and you have access to scans of people who are coming to do cancer test or whatever test, and you have all of this data, and then you've plotted it, you're like, it seems like all the guys, you now plotted your data, you're like, see all these tests that they've been doing. Some people are clustering here, some people are clustering here. You now say, okay, let's go and see these 2 clusters, whether there's anything that is similar to them. You now going to start checking people on this higher cluster. You now realize that every time somebody falls in this particular area in your chart, the person had cancer. Whenever somebody fell inside this lower area, the person will have cancer. Automatically, you have solved the problem. Okay. Now, if that person, whenever a new person comes, you can plot that person's test results and see where the person falls on your chart, and you can see, this person is likely to have a cancer. Please, let's check. Let's check the person. Okay. So now that's where that brings you to predictive analysis. Okay. Predictive analysis is the more for lack of easier terms to state it, the more mathematically demanding part of the whole thing. although you don't have to, it's not like you have to do mathematics, you just need to understand some kind of things because it's very, very simple, and very, very interesting too. Like you'll be surprised what data can tell you. Okay, so this is clustered data. You have clustered data, you have regressing data, you have regressive data, and when you have regressive data, it just basically means that something is causing another thing. Okay, and it mostly happens with data that is continuous. And when your data is continuous, it basically means that it's basically the possibilities are in what do you call it? The possibilities are limitless. Okay, so that you can just keep on going on this line, just continue treading on the line, and it's almost like it has no end. You just keep going, and then you can actually do or run an analysis on this kind of data too. Okay, using the basic formula we learned when we were in primary school that year. If all of us remember, mx plus b. Okay, which just tells you how something is increasing based on another thing. Okay, this is like the simplest kind of prediction you can do. Okay, like regression. Everywhere you go to hear regression, like these are very simple things that as a data scientist you should be able to look at the data and be able to tell. So measures of data. If you have data, the first thing you want to do is check central tendency. Okay, you want to check the mean, the median, the mode, the percentiles. Okay, see what is happening in that data. Then you begin to check the standard deviation, the variance. These things just give you the kind of understanding of what's going on in the data without you having to do too much work. Okay, you just look at the data like, this is happening in this data. And then the truth is that it might not come after the first time you look at data. It might not come after the second time. But I mean, I know as much as we go through the course, you begin to see all of these things as we are working. And then it's interactive way, so you have to also look at data and try to make decisions or come up with your own inferences by yourself. Okay, and I'm sure we would all enjoy the program because it's going to be really. Somebody said like algebra. Again, yes, actually like algebra, very, very like algebra. But you won't have to do all of that mathematics. You just need to understand how it works. And I tell you, you would realize that there is nothing as simple as mathematics in this life. Like, and not exactly like simple, but really interesting also. It's really, really interesting. And it's what is driving the world forward. Okay, there's plenty of money to be made. Plenty of money to be made. But the honest truth is that it actually requires a lot of personal work. As I said from the beginning, personal work, putting yourself out there. You need to do a lot, no matter where you are, especially when you're starting. Because even myself, I feel like I'm still in quite kind of early stages because I'm not started making some kind of money that I feel like I want to be making. You get, and then my name has not started like popping up in some kind of places that I want it to pop up. Like these days now, I mean, I feel like my bills have gone up. So like when I charge people, like it's different, and I can feel the demand. Like I feel so much demand. If last week somebody told me that, see, please, I just need 15 minutes of your time every week, and I will pay for your personal assistant, because I was like, I just told her that, see, please, like, I already have too much on my plate. I don't think I can add. She was like, see, like, if she has to pay for my personal assistant for me, that she will pay for it. Like, I was like, okay, fine. Like, I've actually not gotten back to her because I still am not sure if I want to add that kind of stress to myself. So like, there's actually that demand for this kind of stuff, okay, for tech, for problem solving. But the truth is that you need to actually show yourself capable. And for those who still like, I'm not saying that certificates are not good, but I've had these arguments with somebody before, with a friend who is now an actress. She always says that education is just education and certificates. No, not education. Certificates are just for the glam. We had that argument. We argued from this, like we argued. I was like, no, lie. But I think to an extent, I see her point. For the most part, actually, certificates are probably for the glam. The main thing is what can you offer, not how many certificates you have. Okay, so before you say you want to go looking for certificates all over the place, Okay, like be sure that you have something to offer. Be sure you have a grab on what you are doing. Be sure you've done a couple of projects before you. Be sure you've done a couple of stuff before you now start delving in. Like after you've done BSc, you do masters. Please, just you need to try as much as possible. Yes, definitely. Academic research is like the major place where the academic. When you say academic research is what drives industry. Yeah, because what is academic research? Research on economics, you research on advancements in science, you research on technology. How do you display this data? When I did my research back then in school, it was MATLAB I used to plot all my graphs. I used MATLAB um, to plot my what do you call that stuff? My samples. And then I used what was that tool I used for my reporting? I can't remember. But I used MATLAB to plot my whatever. I used the scientific method, which is the same scientific method we still use today when I'm doing stuff at home, when I'm doing stuff for clients. Like it's basically, yes, it's basically the same thing. It is scientific research that actually drives industry. And yes, data science is being used heavily in every school. I want to think it's every school, except it's not like a very good school. But in every school, yes, data science is being used for academic research. Okay, my cousin, who did computer science. Okay, I think yeah, his final project was something in AI. They had to do a kind of scene recognition, and basically his supervisor just pointed him towards data science and artificial intelligence straight up. There's somebody who just engaged me to take her. She's actually going through her master's also, and she's doing a kind of autonomous drone with facial recognition, blah blah blah. Like research emanates from schools. If you go out and check most of the license for John Hopkins data, for COVID-19 data that everybody uses from John Hopkins University. License for most of the open source projects you see that you use, even Python in itself, I think it's MIT licensed. And MIT is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Like, yes, data science is everywhere. And definitely academic research, very, very strongly. Yeah, I think I've done that. So let's see, I was going to say one more. The last. Okay, yeah, so I mean, from what I've said, I want to think you can actually see how you can use data science in almost any field. I told you I'm an engineer. I studied electrical engineering in school, but I had to do data science because I am delving towards the Internet of Things. And the Internet of Things involves data collection via both sensors, that's qualitative and quantitative, and analyzing this data. So it has opened me to different kinds of statistics. Okay, different kinds of statistics, different kinds of mathematics that I did not appreciate back in school. But I'm beginning to see how beautiful it is. And yeah, that's why I'm here today. But because of that, I find myself doing auditing, which is accounting. Which day was that? I was in my room. I was just sitting down and thinking to myself that I can't buy. Sorry, I know it's not a word I understand you. I'm gonna do I can like this. I just know that. Okay, so I found myself doing data analysis for accounting. I found myself doing data analysis for the one I did for medical. It didn't exactly work out. Yeah, but I found myself doing such also. And whenever I do each of these things, it increases my knowledge. And knowledge is power. It's just very interesting what you can do with tech. You are open to, like, once you grab this and you make yourself out there, you go to LinkedIn, you talk, you write on Medium, you let people know, you teach somebody, you do cool stuff, you are out there every time. Like the more you do, the more you know. Okay, the more you do, the more you know, and the more opportunities you open yourself to. Okay, so that ability to do is very important, very, very important, more important than anything, more important than any certificates you can collect. Understanding what it is, the tool you have, and why you have the tool in the first place. The ability to see a problem somewhere and know that I have the tools to fix it is very important, and it only comes via practice. If you don't practice, you will just be there. Okay, so you need to just keep yourself in demand. With this few little, I really hope that there's nothing else
Yeah.
and I'm good to go.
I think someone is asking, how do one report something? Let me check. I'm not sure if you have answered the question. Somebody just dropped the question. How do one report after analyzing the data set?
Okay, yeah. So there's plenty of reporting tools. I know this will sound weird, but PowerPoint is a very great reporting tool. What do you call it? Microsoft Excel is a great reporting tool. I say Excel, not Excel. Microsoft Word is a great reporting tool because you can migrate your Excel documents. You can migrate your, what's this thing called? You can migrate your Excel documents, your charts, your images, whatever you've analyzed, you can migrate it into that place. Now, if you really want to go further, and maybe you don't want to learn web, then there is the place of Power BI. But those are most of them are actually like enterprise tools that maybe you'll be given access to later. Yeah, but you can use the Power BI to analyze, and Power BI actually allows, you can, not like it allows, it is mandatory. There is Python inside Power BI, so you can actually do everything you know in Python inside your Power BI, so you can just be writing it there. Just like Excel supported basic, because Excel is limited. So yeah, you can, Microsoft Word, okay, then PowerPoint, those two. Then if you want to, you have the web too. The web is a very great reporting tool, the most common. Then yeah, then if you want to, Power BI, Tableau, which other one? Yeah. Then inside Python, there's something called a Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so when you write in your Jupyter Notebook, you can actually write something called markdowns. So use your markdowns to structure out your reports, hide your code, hide unnecessary details, and then show only the important things. Okay, and it's a very, very powerful tool. So when you are done, you can actually export as PDF, or you can export as a PowerPoint slide or an HTML slide, any of the ones that you prefer. But sometimes if you are doing something for a client, then I feel like the best way to share, if you can't do web, is to share it as either a PowerPoint converted to PDF or a document, a Word document converted to PDF. So you neatly arrange your, I think, yeah, let me not go to that part. Yeah, so your normal reporting tools, your everyday reporting tools, PowerPoint slides. If you go, I don't know if you guys watch Channels Television. If you watch, they have a data scientist. Have you ever seen him presenting? If you have, he uses PowerPoint. He uses PowerPoint slides, and he just comes and talks his talk and says plenty things. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yang. Very grateful. Yeah, I think I've done great justice to most of the questions that people really wanted to know from the masterclass, and I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. So I think at this point we can release you, so that probably you can move on to some other stuff. While we will also be rounding up in the space of 20 minutes from now. At this point, I would want to bring in Ernest. The training is starting next week. The training is starting next week fully, 4 hours on Sunday, 4 hours on Saturday, 16 weeks. And like I've said earlier, what is most important too is that you're able to practice or work on projects that you're giving class. So that means 8 hours you need the weekend to participate. You need another 8 hours to participate. I would also like to talk to us about the fact that after this training too, there's an opportunity for internship. So the implication of that is that after your 12 weeks training, you still have the opportunity to keep working on projects, get experience on these things, and then with that you're able to really grow project based. So I think that's important to be able to build your portfolio. You have that opportunity for 12 weeks even after the first 12 weeks of your So please, if you are here, kindly mute yourself so that we don't have somebody who is background, we appreciate if you mute yourselves. Okay. I'm looking for how to mute everybody, but I think the person's quiet now. Okay, so yeah, that's about that. As a matter of fact, like I've also mentioned earlier, this tech challenge is organized in partnership with the University of Ibadan. So what that brings, the opportunity that brings to us too is that after the training, you have the opportunity of getting certified by the university if you so desire. All right. So at this point, I want Alex to take us where we stop so that we can now from there. Okay, sorry, I want. If you have noise in the background, kindly mute yourself. Ensure that you are not obstructing the class. So Ernest, welcome. Good morning. Hello, Ernest.
I'm here. You muted me earlier. I didn't notice that.
Okay, can you hear me, sir? Yeah.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah,
okay,
we can hear you.
Hello, guys. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Really excited to talk about physics, and we've been through a lot already. I was actually paying attention from the end, and I was seeing all the things that Mr. Atta was distributing. Really, really, really impactful. I believe there will be no one that is in this class that will miss this particular training. I would encourage every one of us to actually register. There's so much we have in stock for you. So please, let's do that. So from last class, remember the last thing we did was to install Visual Studio Code and Python. So, and I believe you got a mail from one of us that should install those IDs. So I'll be assuming everyone has it installed on their machine. Is that right? Okay.
Okay. If you already have it installed, you can just say yes. If you have not installed it, you can say no, so that Mr. Ernest knows. Okay. All right. Then at this point, I also want to announce that. Sorry, Ernest. Sorry.
No problem, sir.
At this point, I also want to let us know that on Friday, the opportunity to join the class will close. All right. So if you're interested in participating in the class, ensure that you've reached out to the program manager of this program, of this training. You would have gotten an email from her one way or the other to be here. All right. Or you can also reach out to us on the WhatsApp group. So if you're not on the WhatsApp group, please also indicate. We will drop the link to the WhatsApp group so that you can join the WhatsApp group and you can get information from there. And if possible, there's something you are not having, you can request for that information from the admin. So I would say that by Friday, opportunity to enter closes. Even if you have any challenge or there's something you want to request for, probably about participating in the class, talk to the admin, talk to the program manager for the program. But that has to be done before Friday. And then if you are paying upfront before Friday, if you are paying upfront this coming week before Friday, we are giving you as a result of participating in this. And I think the program associate is also taking note of those people who came to this program. As a result of that, we are giving 10% to anybody who is 10% off for anybody who is able to balance the payment before Friday. If you are balancing before Friday, that offer is only available for 1 week. If you are able to do that, you have 10% off your payment bill. So if you are paying 100% anyway, so please ensure that you make every necessary arrangement to participate in the challenge before the week runs out. Remember, it's going to be 12 weeks. You need 16 hours weekly. So, Mr. Ernest, please take on.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. There are so many people that have not installed it yet. So while we are doing that, I'll just quickly go into what I want you all to do. So I'll share my screen now. Hold on. Okay. I believe you can see my screen now. Okay. So what you do if you don't have Python installed and you don't have VS Code installed on your system, so I'm just going to direct you on how to do that now. Okay. So you go to Google, all right, and search for VS Code. VS Code. All right. So you go to Google and search for VS Code download, and then it will open a web for you. I'm having so many chats here. All right. So you go to Google and search for VS Code, VS space code, then downloads, VS Code downloads, and then it's going to bring a whole lot of websites for you. You click the first one. Hold on, my network is kind of slow. VS Code download, that will take you to a list of a website for VS Code ID. So you click on the first link you have there, and then you take it to the full website, and then you just download VS Code. All right, so you should be able to navigate to the website. It's very easy. Just go there. You all have you've accessed the internet before, so it's not something that will be new to you. So you go to the search for VS Code download and download the website, and also search for Python. All right, Python.org, Python.org, org, Python.org. What's wrong with my internet? Python.org, that will take you to the Python website. Okay, hold on. All right, so just go to okay. So you search for, so the simple thing is this: you go to your browser, all right, you go to Google, search for VS Code downloads, all right, then you download VS Code, then you search for Python, all right, Python downloads, you take to the original website and you download Python from there. So this is Python downloads, and I hit the search button. You're going to see me what download Python, right? So you click on this website here, load it up for you. So that will take you to python.org/downloads. And when it takes you there, you see this button here that shows download Python 3.9.0, which is the latest one. So you click the downloads and download it. When it's done downloading, you start the installation process. All right. When you start installing, just let me know there is the first window of installation that you will see. There'll be an option for you to tick and add to path variable there. So once you finish downloading, just let me know in the chat section and I'll give you further instructions from there. So while that is going on, you also go to VS Code download, search for VS space code download. All right, VS Code download, you'll see it here, download Visual Studio Code, click the button here to open the website for you. And then it's as simple as that, just download VS Code. Once you've done that, we all should be on the same page. All right, once you've done what, we all should be on the same page. Okay, so in the meantime, while that is going on, so that you won't be lost and you will still be following us while your stuff are still downloading, you can just go to REPL. REPL.it. Okay, so you go to REPL.it. So in the meantime, so we can just continue with what we are doing, so we don't waste our time waiting for you to download it. You just go to REPL.it. All right, so that's an online editor. It's like VS Code. It's an online editor that we can use to write our code. All right, so it's like VS Code, but it's just that it's online. Without the internet, it's not going to work. Okay, So you download the one that is not offline, that is offline, which is VS Code, so that you can run your code offline. But this one we're doing now is just because some of us have not downloaded VS Code yet. So while that download is happening, we're just working with REPL. All right, so you go to the website repl.com, repl.it. Hold on, sorry. We already did this in the last meeting we had. Or we didn't just taking you further what we've done before. All right. So I'll just be giving you a sneak peek of what we are going to learn in this class. All right. We have so much in stock for you. So if you go to repl.it, you see a website like this. Okay. You click on Start Coding. Click this button here to start coding, and to bring a list of programming languages for you to choose from. All right. That should pop up right about now. That should pop up right about now. Download the processing. Okay, it's paused already. So that if you follow that instruction, to show a pop-up of all the languages that are available, you click on Python. I don't know how this page will just load. You just click on Python and you click on Create REPL. All right, it's as simple as that. You click on Start Coding, you click on Python, and you click on Create REPL. Once you do, okay, here it's coming up now. So you click on Python, which is the first language you have here, which is what we're going to be using for this course. Click on Python, all right, then you click on what? Create REPL. Right, once you do that, a page like this should open. It's very easy peasy, nothing to worry yourself about. A page like this should pop up for you. Give me some minutes. Okay, yeah, something like this should pop up for you to see. All right, so this is one of the projects we'll be building in this course. All right, so I'm just going to run through a sneak peek of how it works, so you can know that we actually have so much in stock for you. So for those of you who have already an initial experience with Python already, this might look a little bit too easy for you, although I doubt it is going to be like that for you. But then this was built strictly using just Python. All right, so this is just a game. What it does is it's a guessing game. So what happened is that there are 3 difficulty levels: easy, medium, and easy, intermediate, and hard. Right? It's a command line game. It runs strictly on the command line. All right. So once you hit the run button, this run button you're seeing here. Once you hit the run button now, it's going to print an introduction for you. When the introduction comes up, then it asks you for you want to pick easy, intermediate. So how the game works is this: if you look at the instructions here, at this point, you say, "Welcome to TechBridge Guessing Game." The objective of this game is simple: guess the number the computer has chosen. You'll be given a number of choices and a range of numbers depending on the difficulty level. All right, let's hit the run button. So I'll be expanding this so you can see what it looks like. All right, so hit the run button and let's go. Okay, so you can all see my screen, the dark blue part of the screen. You can see what's showing there. It's showing you what guessing game, and this was all done. You can see that these are all done using slash and forward slash and backward slash and hyphen and underscore. You're going to write this. So this is one of the basic things you'll be doing in Python. So you're using guessing game, all right? So this is the game menu: difficulty, instructions, and to quit. So I'm making a choice. And let me say I want to read the instructions. I press 2, hit enter. Right, welcome to TechBridge Guessing Game. The objective of this game is simple: guess the number the computer has chosen. You'll be given a number of choices and given a range of numbers depending on the difficulty level. Enjoy. Then it brings back the menu for you again. Right? So now what you want to do, you can choose to quit, or you can choose to check the difficulty you want. So you press 1 to choose difficulty. So easy, intermediate, and hard. Right? So I pick easy, right? Hit enter. So enter your guess between 1 and 10. All right. So what do I enter? I enter 5, right? And then it tells me what your guess is too low. You have 4 guesses left. So for easy, if you set the difficulty level at easy, you'll be given just 5 choices to guess between 1 and 10. If you choose the difficulty level of intermediate, you'll be given 5 choices as well to guess the number between 1 and 15. Choose difficulty level of hard, you're given 5 choices to guess between 1 and 20. All right, so this difficulty level can be adjusted from my code here. All right, with just a single line of code, I can edit this difficulty to make it as difficult as I want. All right, this is simply what we mean by when we talk about object-oriented programming. And I'm going to see that later on in the course. All right, so make a choice again. Let me try and play this well. Your guess is too low. Let me choose 7. All right, I hope I'm not too fast. Your guess is too high. 3 guesses left. Let me choose 6. All right, so you can see what it's showing me. You won. Printed out fully for you to see. All right, you won. And then once I won, the game has ended. All right, you can see it has ended immediately. I won. Okay, but assuming I didn't win and I exhaust all my chances. All right, imagine I didn't win, I exhaust all my chances. What is it going to give me? So this game has been built completely from head to toe. So if you run this code, there's no way you're going to find any bugs or any missing part of it because it has been built completely. And this was one of the things we did in the last cohort. Okay, let's see. I'm guessing wrong numbers. 1. All right, it's too low. I want to exhaust all my chances. So what's going to happen? 3 guesses left, 2 guesses left, 1 guess left, and then I exhaust all my chances. You can see what's showing me. 0 guesses left. Time is up. Do you want to play again? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Right? 1 for yes, 2 for no. So I enter 1 if I want to play again, and it takes me back to the main menu. All right, I press 3. I want to quit, and it ends the game. All right, thanks for visiting. Okay, this is one of the most basic things we built in this course. All right, it's just a sneak peek of what we have in store for. This is very, very basic actually. In not less than 3 weeks to 4 weeks into this program, you should be able to do this by yourself. Trust me, just 3 to 4 weeks into this program, you'll be building this in by yourself. You'll be building madder projects than this. All right, so there's so much we have in store for you. So just a quick peek into what we'll be doing. All right, let me create a new RPO. So this is one of the basic things. I don't know if you've tried installing some softwares on your computer before. When installing them, you'll be seeing certain diagrams. They are made using this particular hashtag you're seeing here. This particular symbol that I used to write this guessing game. All right. Some of them can write different things. You can make drawings. You can make so many things that you want. Right. So there are certain programs that you run that you are installing on your computer. You will see something like this. This is just built with /, / hyphen and underscore. All right. So this is actually very, very basic. It just shows how creative you are. Right. And if someone might do this just for the fun of it. So building this, you'll be learning one of these as well. And also the things you'll be learning from the top. Learn the basic Python syntax. Then we'll go to if-else statements. All right, so if you look deep into my code, this is my code, this center part of my screen is my code. And if you look at what I used here, I used them basically 3 to 4 functions to do this. This is the main menu. And this main menu, I'm printing out this first part and I'm using an if-else statement inside here. So basically, the thing that this code does is this. Let me run into the background of how it works. All right, so the computer is going to guess a random number. And how do we allow the computer to guess a random number? We use a function in Python called random. It's a library in Python called random. So use random.randint, okay, to guess a random number and save it in a variable called computer. All right. So when the variable is saved when that number that the computer guessed, which is the random number, is saved, we now use an input function to get input from the user. all right, not just printing out. You get input from the user, which is the user's guesses. Whatever the user guesses, all right, is going to be saved. Once that thing is being saved, it's now compare if it is equal to the one the computer guessed. If it is not equal, you will check if it is what bigger than it. If it is bigger than the computer's choice, it's going to print out that what is too high. If it is smaller, it will print out that what is too low. But you notice that after that first chance, it's not going to stop. It's going to continue again. All right, that what we put in a for loop or a while loop, which is what we call iteration. That process will keep on continuing like that until the condition for iteration is met, then it will stop. All right, and the condition we set for this game is if the user picked the right choice, all right, or if the time was elapsed, or the number of chances he has elapses. All right, okay. So let me create a new RPL. So hope you all understand what I've done so far. Was that too fast? Anybody did not hear me? I was just speaking to myself.
Okay. Hello, Ernest.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Hello, Ernest. Yeah, great introduction there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I said great introduction there. Very fantastic. At this point, I'd like to talk to everyone. I believe that from what was done last week, with what Ernest is showing, just for us to see the beauty of Python, for us to also see what's obtainable. All right. Fortunately, Ernest will be the one starting the class for the first 4 weeks from next week. For the first 1 month, he will be the one starting. And I'm very sure from the last class, it was really, really a major hit. Up to now, I think they are still reaching out to him because he is a teacher, as they call him. You will really enjoy the class with him, and you would love to always come to class. All right, so I would say that from the basics of Python, you will start from the scratch. So I discovered that there's still a number of people who have not probably been able to install Python on their laptop or install the Code Studio or something like that. Don't worry, all of that will be sorted from next week. So I think at this point we can just begin to round up, so that for those people, because I know that the class is a mix of those people who were here last week and those people who are just coming fresh today. All right, but I think what is having attended virtually now is a new major stuff learning point. All right, because even for you as a data scientist, the truth is that majority of jobs that you're looking at getting is outside the country. I said that last week, and I'm just saying it again. All right, so what you should begin to consider yourself to do is that how can you collaborate with others? How can you do projects virtually, remotely? All right, that's enough confidence that you need to build. Take on some of those opportunities. All right, I remember sometimes I brought a data science consultant from a bank to speak to the current data science cohort. And it was really, really a laboratory time. We were able to see a lot of strong guys through that one now already creating opportunity for themselves. So I would say that get ready, get set. Trading by Zoom virtually is very, very tangible. Now the class is currently being recorded and it's live on Zoom. I said Zoom on YouTube. The implication is that you can always access it there. In fact, all of the classes that we're going to be taking henceforth too are going to be live on YouTube, but we'll make it private so that it's only members of the class who have paid or participating in the class that will be able to access it. And since it is that way, I think even beyond the recording, since this is not another Udemy course or another Pluralsight course, this is a class where you are meeting the instructor live to live. You can share your screen just the way he has also shared his own screen earlier. You can see his own screen. You can, as a matter of fact, you can see his screen. You can also share your own screen. All right. Somebody is asking, can code some basic work on your own. All right. So you can share your screen. You can also see the screen of the instructor. As a matter of fact, when you have a problem, the instructor can request for a remote control to take over and navigate your own screen for you. There are a lot of possibilities, and I think the 12 weeks will really be results oriented. Okay, I don't know if at this point somebody is having any question concerning the program, concerning how to get started or anything. We can take questions now. But then I can tell you that the class will be starting from the basics next week, you understand Python from the beginning. For those who have not done the installation, the first thing they will be doing is getting everybody installed and everybody get set. Now for data science, there's a little bit of issue. The issue with data science is, I think many people like data science, all right, for many reasons. So the class is almost getting filled up. If you are going to participate in this class, ensure you take action immediately. Even if you are planning to pay, reach out to the program associate, Shayo, the person where you got that sent you an email, or you can just chat her on WhatsApp. If you're on our WhatsApp group, you will be able to access her. All right, you will see that she's the second admin. You will see my own name there. You see her there, or any of us that you access. Just tell us that you are ready to join the class ahead of time, so that by the time we already have 10 people, I'm sorry, even if you want to pay 200,000 on I mean, whenever we have 10 people, even if we want to pay double, sorry, we will not take it, because we have already announced to everybody and would like to keep to our word that we are only taking 10 people. So please ensure you take action as soon as possible. If you are participating in the class, reach out, book your own space down, even if you don't have the money yet before Friday. But then for you to start the class on Saturday, you need to have at least paid the first installment of 40,000 naira, or you have paid a balance fee. Please ensure you get all that in place, and then I'm sure it's going to be a fruitful time. All right, at this point, I want us to round up. So I like to ask, is there any other question? Somebody's asking a question. Let me check. If you have any question, please use the chat now. Say, can code some basic work on your own. Oh yeah, you can get to do some basic coding stuff on your own. Yeah. So, and that's the essence of the fact that when you come to class on Saturday and Sunday for the 8 hours period during the week too, you still get to learn a little bit further. I can see somebody saying, "Can I get the URL link to install Python and set up the steps to follow in installing it?" Okay. Adegbola Adewale, I don't know if you're already on our Slack group. For those people who have fully enrolled in the program, if you're on the Slack group, the instructor is there. You can always reach out to him on Slack, and then all of those details will be dropped there. All right. But then, like I said, some of those things will still be covered next week to check that everybody's on spot. And some of these instructions too that you have requested for will be dropped on our Slack channel. But then ensure that you are able to get across. If you need a link to the Slack channel, you can reach out to us. Yeah. So, do we have another question? Okay. All right. So, once again, I want to thank everybody for participating, for coming. I also want to thank the instructors, Hata, also known as Iang, and more especially Ernest, who has also taken his time to come to us to show us a bit of some of the Python stuffs that's possible that you're going to be starting with, some of the projects you can start with. Yeah, thank you, everyone. We are very grateful that you came. Thank you for honoring the Masterclass invitation. At this point, I also want to say a big thank you to the program manager who put this together, Shayo. Did a nice job setting all of this up for both the full stack Masterclass and this data science Masterclass. Shayo, well done. Yeah, at this point, let's round up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Now, go day. Have a good afternoon. All right, thank you. Thank you. Not bad. If you're exiting too, you can say bye in the chat as you're exiting. God bless. Thank you so much.